Okay, here we are. Oh, doggone it. There we go, I think. See if this will be connected here. Okay, we're here doing our thing. I don't know if chat's going to play nice. Oops. There we go. Now we're on both. I don't know if this stupid Caster Labs caffeinated thing is going to work. There we go. Finally. Jeez, oh my word. Took you long enough. Okay, so we're back to doing a little bit of work. And we are going to be just doing mostly just some coloring today. Hello, Ren. And maybe start some other props, but we'll see about that. Okay, so yeah, I've still got the example image in the corner, which is cool because that means that you'll be able to see that. However, I am gonna pull up. You know what? I'm actually gonna pull it up in here. Here we go. All right. Where is it? It's going to be. Oh shoot! I can't. Never mind. All right, we're just gonna have to do it this way. Okay, so this is what we're working off of, obviously, but we're going to be pulling off the flats. So let's go ahead and do the blanket here first. And the nice thing is, we want to, you know, we do want to put the label below. And this should go pretty quick. I am going to paint it as well, so it's not going to be super fast, but it'll be fast enough. I just realized, actually, I need to change that. Okay, we're actually going to this because we need. Where's the? We actually need the mattress. We need that to be a little bit different. Shoot, I need to remember which one I used. It must have been this one. Okay. What's up, Aaron? Good to have you here. Actually, we are gonna put that in there. That and yeah, we won't worry about that for that. Gonna pull this away from the edge though. It's nice to be live again, honestly. I was kind of bummed not being able to stream these last few days. That's it. Okay. There we go. All right. Okay, there we go. That's better. All right, simple little adjustment there. Put those on. That does mean we need to. Actually. Delete that. Okay. And now, okay, so this is all technically the same color. And I'm gonna roll with that. Yeah, okay. For other layers. Put that and that, maybe that as well. The idea is all of this same color. In there, although I'll do all that by hand. You have a question? Shoot. Oh, you have another question as well. What am I doing? So basically, the big thing is I am building a 3D environment in Blender. But I'm doing all the props and sort of the set design for it in 2D. So this bed, for example, is going to be a kind of like a billboard sort of effect, or a diorama kind of effect for the environment, and I'm going to animate over it. So I'm working on the props right now for that. What's up, Amber? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Oh my gosh, I really appreciate that. That shouldn't exist. Get rid of that. You can definitely pick up some tricks. Tell you what, I'm hoping to import this in by the end of the stream, but I'll do a quick little like look over of my setup and update it so that you can get an idea. So I'll walk you through the process when we get to that point, once the flats are done, which won't take too long here. We're actually almost done with the flats, so I just have to do all these little items. We're actually gonna do this. Oh shoot. There we go. The biggest thing to learn, if you're wanting to do something along these lines, is how to composite in Blender. So that's something that you can look into. Just on your own. It's kind of hard to show the whole process. Although, if you keep on tuning in on the streams, you're going to see a lot of the process. It's going to be slow going, though. I might do, come to think of it, I might do a little bit of a breakdown video. Actually, I'm currently working on one right now for another little short film I did, or a microfilm I did a little bit ago. I need to get back to working on that video, actually. But I might make something a little bit more comprehensive as well if it does well and people are interested. Show kind of the fundamental actual like workflow, because it won't really be the workflow, it'll more just be kind of a 40,000 foot view kind of thing. Squiggly leaves, yeah. I was told by multiple sources that ivy, like fake ivy and stuff like that, is a very popular room decor. So I absolutely need to have it. So I did. For the record, the image that you're seeing down in the bottom right is the image that I'm basing everything off of. That's the image that I'm trying to recreate in Blender, and you'll see that in a bit. Okay, there we go. Let's go and do the pencil. Book. Oh. Tell you what, we're gonna do the spine like this, and then do the actual book pages like this. A lot of this won't really be seen. There we go. I need the CD player. Go. It's actually been a while since I've listened to this playlist. I don't typically, because there's a small chance that it'll get knocked out while I'm live. I actually need to. Okay, I need to think about what the mattress is colored, and I'm gonna go with that, and the pillow. Probably gonna be the same color, honestly, but the inside is. No, that more like a. That's gonna. Or I go darker on something like that. That. Yeah, we'll go with that. And then this will be that. Okay. We'll go with that for now. The colors will ultimately change because I'm going to paint over it. But it's good to have a good base to work from. This is going to take a while, this whole process, because I have all of these props to design and do. So the shelf is probably going to be the most tedious, that and the desk, because I decided to do a bunch of junk on the desk, but I had to. All right. Rabbit's going to be its own color. Is that a separate color? That is a separate color. In a lot of ways, this is kind of experimental to try to create an effect So it might get interesting because the effect I'm ultimately going for, if you've ever seen older animation, a really good example is like the beginning of is it Beauty and the Beast, with the shot going through the woods and stuff like that. That's done on what's called a multiplane camera, and so you basically have different things layered, but of course they're only 2D, so it gives a really unique effect. I'll show a little bit of that, what I'm talking about when I re-import this. It's a little bit different than that, but it's more or less the same. I just that. Okay. Okay, so that's color done. So let's go ahead and really quickly for the... Oh wait, that's not color done, my mistake. I missed a whole section. I missed the stuffed toys. Okay. Let's do that real quick then. The nice thing is we can actually do this pretty quick because we actually don't need to be super careful because we are now far enough along. And they're all fairly consistently mono color. There we go. Come on. Man, I really do hope that Wacom decide to fix that issue. It's really annoying. I'm gonna go way faster, but it's not letting me. Oh. Okay. Man, that is so irritating. If you notice that the thing is like jittering back and forth, that's actually the it's having a problem. It's not acting smoothly. It should be acting smoothly. Okay, and then finally the little totally not ADS side here. Dinosaur or dragon. I don't think she was ever into dinosaurs as a kid. She was more into like sea creatures, stuff like that. Alright, hold on. We're gonna... Okay, so now for the fun of it, let's go ahead and export this, because why not? Okay, I don't know why I'm not getting my stuff from the mobile side, so if I missed your messages, my apologies there. I do see a couple people there, and I appreciate you being there. I'll just have to remember, I guess I'll go here. That's really annoying. I love caffeinated. It works. Smile. All right. Okay, so now here comes the fun part. Let's go ahead and export this. Oops. And as a PNG. So you want to do a PNG because PNGs have see-through pixels. They can do transparency. Also, if you guys see any lagging, that is my network being absolutely freaking stupid. It's been driving me nuts for a long time. So I do apologize about that, but there's literally nothing I can do about it. Okay, so let me bring it over here. And yeah, okay, you can see. So this is the room so far. As you can see, so everything is a 2D object, including the bed. With lighting on, it's a little bit more in line with what we're looking for. I'll probably have to do some compositing to make it look good. But this is what we are going for. This is kind of the design and the look that we're trying to kind of land on. So that's kind of the idea. Now I might actually move the bed further this way. I don't know yet. We'll see. But if you notice, so actually it imported with the color now. So now we have the color, but I can share, if we go up to shading at the top, which I think you can see on mobile as well. Well, it'll take us to this view. And so what this view is this view is like where it knows what to do with like all the little resources that you give it. So you can do a lot of stuff with this. We're doing some really basic stuff though. Basically what we're saying is take this image, use it for the color, and shoot it out the end of the material, right? We're also taking the alpha, because if we didn't take the alpha, we would wind up with a black outline. The reason that is because this is a solid object. It is a, it's just a plane. It's just a rectangle, right? So the alpha tells it, okay, takes those pixels and tells it, okay, you need to go in. So that's how it works. That's the basic principle that all of this stuff is built on. Is just putting an image over a plane and calling it a day. So yeah, that's the idea. So what that means for us, let's take another look, closer look at the image here that we're basing off of. We zoom out, so now we can turn this back on. So you'll notice that there's a lot of texture. This texture, what really adds the lighting and stuff like that. That's what we need to recreate. So that's what we're gonna go ahead and do. So I'm gonna go ahead and go up to oil, and I just use the basic wash brush because it's actually a very nice brush. And we are going to, oh, actually it's this one. I did forget the fairy lights. Maybe I put those over. Anyway, so we're going to take our two kind of mid colors, and we're going to just start painting. Actually, what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to, oops, that. And we just want to give it kind of some texture. All the while thinking about where our light is coming from, kind of virtually. Which, if we go back to the image, is mostly this big window, but also from the top. But what that's going to do is that's going to make it so that, okay, this edge is darker than the top. So that's what I'm thinking the whole time. And the nice thing is this is such a simple style, it pays to not over render. So this is actually pretty cool. Which is good because I have a lot of props to do. And we'll go this way. Okay. So now we can do this and that. I'm actually going with a little bit of a even simpler sort of. A little bit of an even simpler kind of design for the painting. I should be okay to listen to this. We're gonna find out. I think Gorillas is cool with people streaming stuff though. They're pretty chill. Maybe a little bit of that tighter. Thank you, Lars. It's coming along. It's going to be even cooler when it's in its final home, all ready to go in 3D. Back over here. So that's what we're going for. I also just realized I should probably resave this as a Clip Studio Paint file. There we go. We want to kind of bring in the red. Yeah, that's kind of the really cool thing about this brush and this brush engine is that I can bring in other colors and cross lines like that. So it can kind of bring a bit of the red in. Maybe we wouldn't worry about it. Okay. Okay. We'll call it, well, I do want this to be a bit more. But that'll do. Okay, so let's go ahead now and do the blue just. So that's our dark, that's our quote unquote light. None of that's going to be really light though. So, and the key is we're going to be able to give it some pseudo depth because we'll be able to paint the ambient occlusion by hand. Ambient occlusion is kind of the secret sauce to making a good looking item or object. Let's go ahead and darken it over here. Come on. Here. A little bit more. Let's go ahead and do the same here. have a lot of light going on there. And then let's go ahead and bring in some of the darks here. Okay. Go with that. Okay, so that's done. Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and even that out a touch more. Okay. So you, and let's go with that. Okay. Now, speaking of ambient occlusion, let's grab that. Thank you. Well, I'm glad you're here there, Asia Pete. So right now I'm not animating per se, but I am working towards building a set for an animation. So what's happening here is I'm basically taking this room that I painted and I'm breaking it down into different assets. So right now I'm working on the bed, obviously, and I'm going to be importing those assets into Blender, you can see here, and I'm going to build kind of like a diorama sort of looking structure, if you will. And then I'm going to basically animate characters in that scene. So I've painted the textures for the walls, obviously. I'm currently working on the bed. As you can probably imagine, I have a lot to get through. So gonna be busy. But I am looking forward to it. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I forgot to do the like poster and the little bulletin and the notes and stuff like that for the wall. So I need to do that as well. But I'll get to that. For now, we are working on this, and I'm gonna actually do this one. And the idea here is obviously like very little light is actually getting in here, in the darker corners and such. So yeah, but that's what's going. Let's see. I do have the designs for the characters and such here and there if you want to see them. Can bring those up real quick. It's really dark now. I don't know. You'd be surprised. I know a lot of people who have managed to develop good habits despite their ADHD in art and such. So never say never there, man. I really appreciate that. That's a little too dark. Okay. Actually, I want the corner. Darkest spot. Okay, let's see. That might be a little too extreme. I'm not sure. Let's see what it looks like once I get the others in place. It is going to look a little awkward because we don't want that. Oh, I'll have to fix that. It's gonna look a little awkward because the little stuffed animals aren't going to be in the shadow yet. Books and such. That, and of course this octopus. I love him, but it makes this part always kind of a hassle. Nope. Okay, there we go. My favorite song? Oh boy. Even a favorite band is hard for me to pick. It really depends on my mood. I'm trying to think of one that I really like to land on though. On repeat. I know there's one. I'm trying to think. Something by Jethro Tull, truth be told. I can always listen to Jethro Tull. But boy, a favorite song, that's hard to land on for me. Just one. Okay, so this is doesn't have any. I can tell you there's a lot of songs I wish I could listen to on stream, but unfortunately I can't. And we're actually gonna really go there. Okay. And we'll push this. Truth be told, I have a whole collection of records right next to me, and I really wish I could throw those on. That would be so much fun. I've done it before in the past, but it always ends up getting muted in between. It's always an asshole. Hard Time Season favorite to you? If I gotta go say more broad scope, really niche indie artists. Oh, okay. If you want to go niche, like the most obscure kind of stuff I know, there's a band that never really went anywhere, unfortunately. And in the words of the creator of the band, one of the leads of the band, the reason was because they simply weren't the fashion of the day. This was back in the early 2000s, and the band was called the Dragonflies. I can almost guarantee you're not going to find them if you go out and look for them. They're very difficult to find, unless you know what you're looking for. So stuff like Critical Nature, which is one of their singles. I think that was one of their biggest singles, actually. Or People of the Sun, or The Shadow. What else is there? What else is out there? Unfortunately, there's a good number of their albums that aren't even, you can't find them. It's very unfortunate. But yeah, so as far as like really, and then if I were to pick from that lineup, that group, what my favorite song by them is, let's see. The X-Man is a really good song. I always really liked that one. People from the Sun is also really good, or People of the Sun. What else by them? Brenda Mars, although I think I would have to give it to Brenda Mars, which you can find. I actually might just throw that on for the fun of it if people want to listen to it. I know that one's safe. That's a very cool song. I actually really enjoy that song. So as far as really niche stuff goes, that's the best that I can do. More general niche, more like standard niche stuff. I was gonna say something by Arctic Monkeys, but Arctic Monkeys isn't really niche. They're not really like indie artists. You know, they're more mainstream. I guess like Slift. Slift would be kind of my go-to for that, and I would say NIMH, their song off their new album. That's a very cool song. Is my favorite by them. Okay. Arctic Monkeys is amazing. I do like some Arctic Monkeys. Also, catch you later. Thanks for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. I hope to see you around more. Yeah, we'll just listen to this. Getting into some potentially more obscure stuff now. I'm not planning on going for ever tonight. It's a little late and I'm a little tired. I just got over being sick, hence the stream name. But I can at least get this done. And maybe some wide one. Catch ya. Okay. Let's go ahead and take... That's all interesting. Okay. Well, okay. So let's go ahead now, and everything in here is going to be dark. So, we're just going to go with a saturated version. What did I go with for the rabbit? Wish. Okay. I'll need to do the pillow as well. Man, why did I have to give this kid so many toys? Forgot to do Hey, what's up, Guilty? Good to see you. I'm doing all right. I'm feeling better, thankfully. Otherwise, I wouldn't be streaming right now. You know, there's some songs that just kind of show up. I'm just gonna move on from that one. We'll switch gears here. You know, there was a new Ghost playlist. There you go. I'll try this. Hey, what's up, Demon? I'm actually having a good day, yeah. How long have I been working on this animation? That's a good question. So if you count the concept art, this concept art here, okay, so it's a little confusing because, so tactically I'm working on 2 animations, quote unquote, and I'll explain. Basically, this background, with this environment, the scene that I'm designing, is going to be used in 2 2 animations. So the first animation that I started, it was a few months back, but I haven't worked on it in a while. I have completed the animatic for it though. It kind of spurred this whole idea. That being said, I'm working on something a little bit smaller at first, just to kind of get what I need out of the way. So that animation I came up with about a month ago or so. So that's what I'm working on. So if we're gonna split hairs, I'm gonna say a month ago. Hoping I didn't actually die. I felt like death, that's for sure. Nah, I was just sick. It wasn't it, man. It was something nasty though. It took me out for a week and a half. It was awful. Horrible cough. Probably one of the worst coughs I ever had in my life. Just couldn't sleep because I was coughing so much. I had to like, I couldn't lay down. Basically, it was awful. So. Yeah, so I've been working on this for a little while now, more or less. So we're actually almost in here with this. Whatever. Maybe saturated more. Try that. I might not have like 5K stuff because I post every like 3 years. I do want to post more though, so we'll see. I don't know. I'm actually just really happy with how many people have been coming in and enjoying the stream in general as of late. It's actually been awesome. It's kind of been crazy seeing things like people just showing up out of nowhere lately. So it's been going really well despite being on the smaller scale. Honestly, I'm just kind of enjoying it for what it is right now. You always hear about people, you know, they work really hard to get really big, and then not that they maybe regret it, but like there's something that you lose, right? I always hear about that. So I figure if I'm planning on, you know, growing and making things bigger, I really ought to enjoy kind of the smaller, quieter moments, however long they last. At times when I can actually really connect with people who come in. I don't imagine myself ever getting like astronomical in scale, and truth be told, I wouldn't really want that for the sake of it. I mean, if like more people enjoy my artwork, then hey, that's awesome. But like, I don't know. There's a lot of baggage that comes with that, and I think that it's very hard to maintain a sense of artistry if you're just going for the numbers game. Yeah, no, the coughing was the worst. Like everything else, like yeah, it kind of sucked that my stomach wasn't feeling great, but like, you know, I could live with it. You know, just lay down and chill, kind of relax. But man, the coughing, oh gosh, that was awful. Okay, we're gonna do this. Why not? Yeah, but you don't actually need all that much work because you're actually sitting in kind of a sunny spot. So we're actually gonna give you a little bit of a light spot. Honestly, I'm really curious to see how things are gonna go as far as, you know, this channel goes and whatnot. Because most of what I do is just streaming, and YouTube isn't really like, it's not really a thing on YouTube, you know? Kind of is, but like as a more superfluous sort of thing. In fact, I heard it can really kind of hurt your channel, but I got nothing to lose, so. And I've only really gained from it, so. And just enjoy what you do. Yeah, exactly. When you start getting into those bigger scale kind of things, it's like, well, now you have to worry about algorithms. Now you have to worry about trending. Now you have to worry about oh, did I design the right thumbnail? You know, things like that. I don't want to be a YouTuber, that's for sure. I just want to make my own. I remember watching a video by it was Jacksepticeye a long time ago, and he talked about, like, you know, nowadays I have to think about making the thumbnail first and then building a video around that, and it's like, man, that is such an interesting way of having to go about it in order to to maintain, right? Because, like, obviously he has editors and people on his team, like he's responsible for people, you know? So that's got to be a little bit scary. I've always thought about that. It's got to be scary working on a platform like YouTube, because I mean, I've seen channels. I'll go back and like re-explore channels that I haven't watched in years, or you know, stumble across people who've been doing it for a while and used to be a big thing or whatever. And yeah, then you look at their numbers and I don't know, like, hopefully it's for the better, where they've just kind of gotten to a comfortable medium, you know? Maybe they've gone back to, for all honesty's sake, maybe they've gone back to exactly what they want, which is something a little bit more niche, a little bit more catered. Should be great. But for those people who really want to, like, stay in the spotlight, it's like, yeah, I don't know about all that. I think there's very few people who can really truly handle that. I am most likely not one of those people. And that light isn't on because she's not reading. So, okay, let's do the leaves now. The leaves are a little... I wonder if I should have left the fairy lights up. What are some tips I would recommend to new and starting artists? The first thing I would do is twofold. One, if you're starting drawing like a style that you really like, or like characters that you really like, and you're trying to like match what they look like and stuff like that, that's perfectly fine. However, I always encourage to not just copy the look, but think about what you like about that specific look, and then go off of that, basically, right? So think of that as your first step, right? And then the second is learn to enjoy it. As one of the like first things you should do if you're just starting out. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Just start drawing, have fun with it, draw what you want, basically, right? Draw characters that you like, draw characters you want to make, draw landscapes or scenes or ideas that you find interesting, right? Doesn't matter if it's good or bad. Just learn to enjoy it. That's a really, really big thing, because either one of two things is going to happen down the road. Either you're going to stick to that and you're going to keep drawing and you're just going to enjoy it, and that's fantastic, right? And it's a great hobby, and I think everyone should draw, right? And there's nothing wrong with that, right? So either that's going to happen and you're just going to stick to it and you're going to have fun, or you're gonna be like, okay, well, I really like drawing. I want to take it a little bit more serious. I want to like up my skill. I want to get better. And that's where it becomes even more important that you really enjoy it, that you learn to enjoy it, because now, when your feet are in the fire and you're really working hard to better yourself with things like gesture drawing, or figure drawing, still life, all that kind of stuff, the more rudimentary things, there's gonna be times when you're just like, oh my gosh, right? Like you're gonna be drawing something that's gonna be kicking your rear, and you're gonna hate it, and you have to have that foundation of knowing, okay, I know I enjoy this, I know I love this, right? So that's why you start with doing something that you really love and that you enjoy. If you're like starting, right? If you're a starting artist, um, and then you and then move on to like to do more, because otherwise it's very easy to kind of burn yourself out. And either way, it's like, well, either this was going to be just a hobby and now you've burnt yourself out of a hobby that you can enjoy, right? Or this is something you want to take a little bit more serious, even if it's just like on the side, or something you want to express more, like on some kind of platform. And again, but you burn yourself out, right? You push too hard. And so learning how to kind of like cater that. Always having kind of those things that you can go back to. In fact, that's kind of what I'm doing right now. This project isn't really a hardcore project for me, right? I'm just kind of having fun. I don't really have a whole lot of stakes in this. Whatever happens, happens. It'll be enjoyable. I think people will find it fun. Whereas I have a comic that's a lot more demanding, a lot more substantial. And so that sometimes that comic, man, it's tough to get through. It's a lot of work. And so it's nice to have like a much simpler project, even if it's tedious, even if it's long. It's so much easier. I can just sit down and I know what to do. It's so much more straightforward than having to like be like, okay, every page needs to make sense. Every page needs to tell the story. Every page needs to be pushing this very like dramatic story and stuff like that. That's a lot of work, just by itself, even with a team, right? And I'm doing this all solo. So yeah, that's my big tips. The other thing is, don't sweat style. Don't sweat about style. If you're like, oh, how do I find a style? Don't worry about that. Like I said, that's why I encourage, if you're drawing stuff because you enjoy like other art and stuff like that. I encourage not just being like, okay, I'm gonna draw this exact. Play around with it, toy with it. If there's something specifically that you like about it, well, what does it look like if you push it a little bit further, right? And before long, like the fact of the matter is, you have your own unique way of drawing from the get-go. Things that you like, probably subconsciously, and it's the refinement of those interests and even flaws in the way that you draw that will ultimately make your art style. So it's like the last thing you need to worry about. I just know that that's one that always comes up. It's like, oh, I want to find my art style or whatever. It's funny because I never really worried about that, but then again, I kind of came from a little bit of a different approach when it came to where I was coming from with art. Like, I was always looking for something different. There was very little, I would say, that actually properly inspired me artistically. There was some stuff though, but it wasn't a lot of it wasn't drawn, funny enough. It was a lot of movies and such. I got into expressionism at a young age, actually. Or rather, I should say, I always wanted to get into expressionism when I was younger. Particularly, I was influenced by older silent era films and such. Metropolis being one of my favorites, from 1926, I believe it is. And so that was kind of a big influence. That was a big start for me. But otherwise, it was just, well, I have this imagery in my head. Naturally. I suppose a lot of that came from video games as well. Just the acceleration of the imagination. I actually started out wanting to write. And in many ways, I kind of do miss writing. I do want to do that more. I actually started writing a little story. I need to go back to that and polish that up. It's very short. But I really enjoyed how it came out. So I need to keep working on it. And we will. Let's see. I'm probably going to start on the line work of the next object here. Okay. Okay. And that's done. That's it. That's it. I don't want to do any gradients. I don't want to do any overlays or anything like that. That all comes later in post-processing. But let's go ahead and see what this looks like in our final sort of render. And replace it. Okay, so now I need to refresh it. I know that there's a better way to refresh things, but I'm going to do it the hard way. Go over here. And go over here. And go over here. Open image. There we go. All right. So let's go back to layout. And there it is. So, and kind of the fun thing about like what I'm going for with this is I don't want it to look perfect with its perspective or anything like that. I want it to look kind of flat. I want to play with the perspective and whatnot. I want it to look a little off kilter. It'll give it kind of a storybook feel. So there will be a character attempting to sleep on this bed in the little short I want to do. So I'll have to figure out how I want to frame things and all that kind of jazz. So yeah, but that is that for now. I'll mess with the lighting and all that kind of stuff later. But okay, so now for the fun of it, let's go ahead and start the line work. I'm probably not going to get too far into this, but we can at least start the line work. I might actually, come to think of it, not that. Okay. Well, recent. Let's go back to bed. I'm gonna go ahead and take this. I'm gonna open file, new, and I'm gonna make a new one. I'm gonna copy this, which I think it's in the same orientation. You know, let's try. So I need to be a little bit careful because I do want this orientation to be consistent. So what I might do is turn this into a sort of master file. I almost wish I had kept it that way. Okay. Let me think about this for a second. So what's going through my head is, so the shelf is technically further back this way. Now where is, okay, hold on. Let me try something. File, new. Okay. Control V. Okay. So technically speaking, okay, so here's the corner of the room. And I am working in the corner of the room. Okay. So what that means is the next thing that we are working with is going to start right here, more or less. That's odd. But you do. Okay, interesting. All right. So you're gonna go. Hold on. Where does this go in perspective? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's the end of the bed right there, and we want a little bit of a gap. So we're gonna put it here. And what we're working on now is this, the chest of drawers, which goes not quite to there, so probably honestly probably there. It's fairly thin, relatively speaking. Maybe a little more. Okay. Let's do out there. There-ish. Now the question is, can I make it tall enough? Let's try some. There we go. Okay. How tall is it? Now, so here's kind of the interesting thing with what we're doing here. This is the horizon. If at any point I go above the horizon in the animation, it might not look right. However, in this instance, it's from the perspective of a child, to be exact, and she is not taller than her own chest of drawers. So I think I nailed the perspective. So we're gonna want this. Let's do a quick comparison. There she is. She is about twice as tall as her bed. Her mattress, I suppose. Maybe a little, like, more third. On the same level as that. So let's try. How tall is this? We have 1. Oh, it's rather up to. Oops, I keep going to the wrong thing. That's just above, so this would be even higher up. Considerably. Okay. Go about there. Okay. And we're just kind of boxing it out. Okay, so now I need to consider the length. I think that's a good length. Okay. That might be a bit wide. That's easy enough to fix. Let's actually push it back. Now it actually might be a bit tall. Easy enough to slice off a few inches. All right there, Phobic. I appreciate you coming by. Don't worry, you're not going to miss out on much here. I'm just going to finish up the line work and then I'm going to call it a night myself here. But I do appreciate you stopping by. It means a lot. So hope to see you around soon. Yeah, a little more pronounced. Okay. Okay. And I am going to need to move it down again because we have stuff on top. Yeah, this is gonna get interesting. I think it'll look cool though. What am I think it needs to be out. Yeah. Okay. You know what? Let's see. What time is it? 1:38. Okay. All right. You know what? I think I'm going to call it here. We got a little bit done. I'm still kind of recovering from stuff, and I've got work tomorrow, so I want to make sure I get enough sleep. So that all being said, though, thank you guys so much for stopping by. This is actually a really fun stream. After getting back. I will be back on Tuesday. There shouldn't be anything interrupting me, hopefully. I'll let you know otherwise, though. I'm going to save this as... chest of drawers. And we'll keep on working on that. I do, at some point, need to... start working on the Blind King again. I want to try to start that again this month, so we'll see. Lots going on, but that being said, what else? Yeah, I've got a lot of stuff I need to get to, truth be told, but yeah, I'll save it for later though. With all that being said, I will be back again on Tuesday, around the same time. But either way, catch y'all later. Have a good one, and goodbye.